Hello, gentlefolk of the internet. My name is Rebecca. This is the Rebecca Fit. I've come to share. We are well into 3 months, and at this point, I think I'm just a CrossFit athlete. I've got details coming up. Also, I talk about how to listen to your body and the benefits of listening to your body. I talk about getting more adventurous with food. I share some of my thoughts about the fasting trend, and I love my dentist and share more about the details of that. First, the fitness. Last week when I said that scheduling graphic was temporary, I might have understated it. This week I've come to some realizations that mean that the whole situation there has become obsolete. I started doing this extra work 3 months ago because I was getting really frustrated doing just CrossFit. I was a few months past the open and I was trying to make progress on those RX push-ups and pull-ups, and I just wasn't. It wasn't happening, and I was feeling the disparities between my upper body and core and my lower body strength actually getting broader, and it wasn't fun. It was not getting fun. I was finding myself more frustrated than like triumphant at the end of the day, and so I took on that extra work. I went with the gymnastics program because it seemed to meet the needs exactly of what I wanted. I did not anticipate that it was only going to take 3 months to achieve my goal, but here I am. I'm 3 months in. As of this week, I'm able to complete Metcons without scaling down the reps for sit-ups and push-ups. As of Saturday, I'm able to hang, just dead hang with one hand for several seconds with each hand. Overall, I'm just able to keep up, and it's fun again. I can't emphasize how important it is that it's fun again. I'm pretty close to my CrossFit 2-year anniversary. I barely know what I'm doing. At least I feel like I'm making progress. It's fun and interesting again, so we're just going to keep doing it. Things got real this week where I got injured, only barely, and because I was listening to my body when it started to protest the movement. I have it on vid, and you can see when I jump, I protest and I start testing it around, and I decide, no, this isn't gonna work. I can't really make it. My calf did this explodey feeling. It sort of felt like my calf got a flat tire. Every flex to jump with the rope hurt. And I stopped, talked to my coach, and started a secondary plan. I feel like there are many things that contributed to this situation, and we're gonna get a little into the weeds with this. Number one, I was dehydrated. I know I was dehydrated because thankfully I track my hydration and I have a schedule for my hydration, and I know I was behind. So I'm certain that that contributed to it. Number two, I know that I can only do CrossFit performance classes 3 days in a row, and that's it. My body can't take any more. And we were at the very end of the third day, so that certainly contributed to it. And lastly, and this is kind of the big deal, I know the more CrossFit I do, the more I have to supplement with adrenal complex. I was that morning thinking to myself, I should probably up my dose. And it was past the time when I took the supplements, and I was going to do it the next day, and my body failed first. There are things that you can do. You know what's going on after you've had enough experience. I know what happened. I also am very grateful for people like Noah. I saw his video a few weeks ago, my rhabdo story. I'll have it in the card as well today. I am so grateful for that example and for him sharing his story, and thank you, man. That was great. It was very helpful to know that it's okay to stop, and that there's a reason you stop. And as soon as I felt that pop in my calf, I thought of Noah, and I was like, you see someone in a gown in a hospital bed, and it's like, that's real. That's real. I don't want to be in a hospital bed. And I talked to my coach instead. Also, an important note, I can eat more stuff. It's really exciting. If you're new to the channel, you probably don't know that I am increasingly allergic to food since about 2009, starting with gluten, oats, most nightshades, some cheeses. It's a whole lot of food that I don't get to eat. And through working with Dr. Whitmore, she's an applied kinesiologist, working with her has revolutionized my gut health. It is absolutely amazing. And this week, I've been able to eat soy sauce. And for those of you that aren't very culinary, soy sauce is very much in everything. It is in barbecue sauce, it is in Chinese food, it's in teriyaki, it's all over the place, and I just don't get to have any. Or at least I couldn't until this week. The reaction I got was like a 2 out of 10. It was very manageable, and I'm really, really excited about being able to eat more food. At this point, I have a clean diet out of necessity because the alternative is pain. If this keeps up, I would really like to be able to have cake for my birthday. While we're on the subject of food, I wanted to comment on the fasting trend. Intermittent fasting is not designed or really capable of contributing to sustained weight loss. You'll lose weight for sure, but it's not going to be sustained. As soon as you start eating again, the weight goes back on. It takes a lot of work to change your lifestyle to really keep the weight off. It's not something that you can do by just not eating for 30 days or 28 days or whatever the case may be for the guru that's telling you this right now. There are a tremendous amount of risks. And I hope that you understand this is coming from somebody who I've done a lot of diet trends. I've lost 60 pounds 2 times, and I've got a lot of friends who have done sustained weight loss. And especially for women, fasting can be dangerous. Women are particularly sensitive to hormone changes. Fasting dramatically changes your hormone levels in all sorts of ways. Never mind the fact that most of the data that looks into fasting and why it's great for us just completely ignores the fact that it does actually prove to be not very great for women. We just no, it's cool. Overall, on average, human beings seem to do great with fasting. That's not enough. And there's no data that actually separates women as a control study group. Whatever data is being fed to you right now is anecdotal. And there are very real long-term risks. The hormone levels don't just bounce back for some people. The older you get, the more volatile you are with your hormones, the harder it is to recover. It's not the same. Never mind the hormonal recovery, you can absolutely cause organ failure. Losing too much weight too fast can cause organ failure. So please consider speaking to a professional, which is not some six-packed ab person giving you an ad over media. Please see a doctor before you consider fasting. That said, I do fast. I go up to 3 days without eating. I've worked my way up to it. I started doing it under the care of a nutritionist. I stay under the care of my applied kinesiologist. I make sure I'm checking in with professionals to make sure that I'm behaving in a way that isn't going to hurt me. And I test and retest to make sure these are things that work for my body. And I know I've tried, when we first got married, my spouse tried to do a fast with me, and nope. Her body absolutely was intolerant to this sort of exercise. It was just no. And it was very stressful for her. And so I just want to be reasonable about this conversation. And the ads that I keep seeing, I'm trying to contain my anger as I feel like someone's trying to capitalize off of people's, wants and desires, right? Please don't. Please be mindful, and please be under the care of an actual professional in real life, not a program over the internet. Lastly, and this is super important to me for the purposes of gratitude, I love my dentist. And I have become of a mind that the first rule of dental care is that you be grateful that you get any. The second rule can be ow, because it usually is. But I came into the dentist one day for an emergency something, and he said, "How are you today?" And I was like, "Well, I'm at the dentist." And it's sort of like this, the butt of the joke that we do culturally all the time. And he took it really personally, and he said, "My friend just killed himself. He was driving his family home from work, stopped the car on the Golden Gate Bridge, and jumped off." And I was like, whoa, this dentist appointment just got super heavy. And I was like, it's not personal. And part of me was like, you know what? He's just trying to make me feel bad. And I went home and I Googled it, and oh my goodness, it's true. By profession, when you look at the numbers, the highest rates of suicide are among doctors and dentists, in that order, which should also say a lot about our healthcare system, that doctors are killing themselves like that. But also dentists kill themselves with a remarkable regularity. And it just, I am so grateful for the care that I receive there, and I understand that it hurts. But I also go to my massage therapist for deep tissue work, and that hurts too. I go to the gym, and that hurts too. There's a greater gain in that I can still eat. My teeth are not designed to last past the age of 30, because I probably should have been eaten by a tiger at this point. Getting regular cleanings is kind of amazing. Having access to healthcare with regularity is its own little miracle and a part of living in the future. And I think it's super important. And I think it's a kind of tragedy that we mock that profession. So as a just, PSA, please love your dentist. They work super hard so that you can eat delicious things. That's about it for the Rebekah Fit. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're a new friend, be sure to subscribe. Tick that little bell to get notifications from me. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. How was your week? What did you get up to? Do you have a bunch of really big feels that you're just really excited to share? Please comment below. Thank you for joining me. Oh.